Welcome to the Inner Athlete Podcast. I'm your host, Trent, and this is the show where we dive into all things youth athlete development, strength and conditioning, and the mindset needed to thrive on and off the field. Whether you're a parent looking to support your child's athletic journey, a coach seeking fresh insights, or an athlete ready to take your game to the next level, you're in the right place. Before we jump in, make sure to hit that subscribe button to stay updated on our latest episodes. If you enjoy the show, please give us a like, share it with your friends, and help us reach even more people who can benefit from these insights. Together, we can empower the next generation of athletes to perform at their best. Now, let's get into it.
I do think that something we could adapt in the future is that making sure that your drills can often translate to the drills that we're doing with Chad. So like the running drills, do more, make sure that they can feel that their growth that they're doing in the drills that you're doing translate to the drills that they're doing, or the stuff on the field, cutting from behind that, change of direction, all that kind of stuff, that they can actually see that field getting better and faster, faster feet, faster cuts, deeper cuts, stuff like that.
I think that started to happen. So when I think we're about halfway through, I started to when they had the stick in their hand, they were kind of focusing on the ball in the stick, and then they were they're cutting at the same time, and it's like, all I did is make like one or two suggestions, and then you could start to see it tick in their head as well. It's like, all I want you to do is just move your feet so you fall in the direction you want to go. And then it's like,
because I remember also too, when you adapted, when you were seeing them learning how to shoot and shooting hard, and then you brought the medicine balls out for the weight transfer, about moving that body, getting that core turning, and using your hips, all that, getting them doing that. I think that also really helps, because of just that motion, right, of that moving the ball, moving that medicine ball around. Is that exactly the same motion as you're shooting the stick? And so really
I think the other problem was because the stick is so light, they were just like T-Rexing it the whole time. It's exactly. Like, all right, we have to break this habit, because I always go to the best examples of specific actions. So if I'm teaching someone to throw, I will look at certain sports like baseball and javelin, or for track and field, and they express in such a clinical way that you can see how it's done, and you break it down, and you take elements of that to further enhance the performance. And a lot of times I would focus on taking the arms out to some degree, because they over rely on utilizing their arms. It's like, if you want to throw harder, or if you want to, what Chad was teaching them is like, if you want to throw what we'd call like in a rugby league sense, like a dummy or a fake. It's like it shows from the hips, it's shown from the shoulders. It's not like from the arms. Exactly. It's like, well, now you're stuck, and then you have to reload, because if you fake with the hips, you fake with the shoulders, your arms are still available to actually dish it off, or even be able to change, swap hands, and then be able to shoot on the other side. So I think they started to kind of see a bit more laterally how everything was starting to come together for them.
I think you're right, and I think in general, 13 to 16-year-old boys, they're not the most deep thinkers, but I think they were starting to think about this and get it, and sort of slowly get it. And that's why we also talk about this as a long-term process, because this wasn't going to get fixed in 6 months, right? It was going to get fixed in 3 months. It was going to get fixed in, if it's ever going to get fixed, it's going to get fixed over years. And so working on that together is really good.
And that's why I wanted to, get them to feel the sensation of when it comes out of the stick, it should feel super light. Like when you hit a golf ball, like if you're hitting your driver, if you hit the sweet spot, it will soar. Like timing's right, everything. That's how it should come out of the stick. It should feel super light, super fast. It shouldn't be like you have to grunt to throw it. Throw the damn thing. It should be like a nice little whip effect. It feels super light, and you've got the timing perfect.
Exactly.
But I think a lot of kids are like, oh, it should be hard. I was like, no, it should actually get easier.
Exactly.
It should just whip out of the hand, boom, 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 boom. And it's almost like your hands are super light the whole time.
Exactly.
And it's like if you see skilled performance at such a high level, you see this the summation of force and how it's been generated in slow motion.
It's just powerful.
Anyways, I got a geek about it. Moving forward, and then where do you see lacrosse, like the vision of lacrosse in Australia? Like, what do you think is going to happen moving forward? Obviously, we've discussed about the Olympic Games and whatnot. Where do you see, lacrosse in Australia in a nutshell?
I think it has so much potential, so much possibility. It's going to take somebody with vision at a high level. Again, we're going to do what we're doing. I think this is where we're, our contribution at this grassroots level, helping out the kids that want to get helped and getting them built up to hopefully get them to a point where they can be a part of the future, right? Where they can go and they can grow as players, play internationally, play in America, whatever, come back and help grow that. As a whole, for the sport, it really needs to take advantage of this moment in time when the Olympics are being held. There's an increase in funding. It's not a huge amount of money. Like it's more money than they've ever seen, but it's not going to be able to.
It's enough to move the needle.
But it's enough to move the needle. Exactly. It's enough to get coaches in. It's not enough to train coaches. It's enough to get kids excited about it. It's enough to get sticks in kids' hands, all that kind of stuff. And I think the decision, they have to make a decision at some level of what's their role. Like I think we talked about this, like having a clear vision of what's their goal. Is it getting more? Is it like because like if you look at Auskick or you look at Milo Cricket, you got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of grade 1, 2, 3-year-old kids playing cricket for the first time, and you get 1% of those, and you get enough to fill the next team, right? We don't have that in lacrosse, right? Kids come in at grade 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sometimes, and then usually the kids that quit some other sport or never had a sport or just want to try it, and this because it's such a high skill game, and it's so hard for them to enter that competition at that level. So getting those kids at grade 1 and 2 and 3 with a stick in their hand playing and realizing, they can play at a club, I can join, I can do all this. This is really great. I think that has to be the future, to get that base solid. If there's one thing, and using that money to get sticks in kids' hands, get good coaches in there, get into the schools, get those kids into clubs, get them playing. I think that's what has to be done to build for the future. The elite stuff will take care of itself. The senior men that have been playing for years, they'll take care of themselves. The senior women, they're going to be fine. The kids that are there, they're bought in, they're fine. It's the ones that's getting those kids that don't know yet that they're awesome lacrosse players. They love the sport.
I think it's just helping them bridge the gap.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Sweet. So, and then where can we find MLA?
So MLA is the Melbourne Lacrosse Academy, right? So everything about just melbournelacrosseacademy.com, Melbourne Lacrosse Academy on Instagram, Facebook. This is where my wife comes in, and Linda's been just amazing with the social media and really capturing some of the stories of these kids and watching them grow and seeing all these things that are happening. Really, we've really formed this really tight knit group, and I think it really comes across in the Instagram story and Facebook and the pictures that she puts up there of them working out, playing, having fun, doing all this great stuff. I think really comes across. But yeah, so if you ever have any questions at all, the website, there's a contact page, or just DM us through the Instagram is where you get all the updated stuff. So
sweet. Thanks for coming on board.
No, thanks so much.
It's been like almost 6 months in the making to some degree.
No, it's been. I just want to say that this wouldn't have happened without you, and I think that's the one key is that what your expertise you bring, but also your vision and your demeanor and how you work with the kids, I think is second to none. So I really appreciate all of the stuff you've done for this, and I don't think it would exist without you. So thanks so much.
I appreciate it.
No problem.
Done. Catch us around. Lacrosse is only going to grow over time. I definitely see it as a sport that you'll find more kids with sticks in their hands. To be honest, there's a sense of satisfaction of just like just against the wall. As soon as you get it, you're like, great. It's like almost like juggling with a soccer ball. Yeah. If you get like 20 or 30 in a row, it's like you kind of love that feeling, and it's like you don't want to lose it. And so I think lacrosse will probably have a bit more of a mainstay moving forward, but like you said, it's going to take time, energy, resources, people,
exactly,
to really help grow the sport.
I think the other thing in the future is that the form of lacrosse that's in the Olympics is non-contact. So it opens up a whole bunch of people that maybe don't like that high contact sort of amount. Like, so lacrosse is a contact sport. There is contact, but you wear lots of equipment, especially in the men's game is full contact, but you wear helmets and gloves and pads and all that. So I think concussion rates are a lot lower than other sports. I think they happen, but they don't happen as high level. I think the level of lacrosse at the high level is really skill based. So there's very little contact. There's no body contact. So I think, especially in this time where we're talking about concussion a lot, we're talking about, how do you protect kids from us? I think lacrosse, specifically the Olympic Sixes lacrosse, is a future sport that will be really accepted by a lot of people as well, because of the fact that I think the number of concussions will be much, much lower than other comparable sports. So I think that's something else also that's going to be a growth area. And if they talk about it properly and they actually do the studies and they do it properly, I think there is a spot for people choosing for their kids. high lots of concussions, low levels of concussions, I think that could also be a deciding point for access as well.
We'll have to save that for the next podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
Done. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks,
that's a wrap for part 1 of this episode on the Inner Athlete podcast. We've covered some incredible insights today, but there's still so much more to come. Make sure to tune in to part 2 for the rest of the conversation. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe, give us a like, and share it with your network to help us reach even more listeners like you. Thanks for joining me, and I'll catch you in part 2.